G'day. This week, very similar to last week, only last week I was sure that I'd covered the whole dozen or so game changes that happened on my 4-year trip. However, when I went back through the list of them, I realised I'd only told you half, so endure with me. There were some things that were such game changers, and I would hope that if you watch them and make note of them, if you haven't already used them, they will help you a lot when you do travel. So I'm going to grab a seat and let's go. Now I'm aiming to cover 4 things here without a cheat sheet. So first thing is drugs. Keep them in a spare lot in the glove box of the car and a spare lot in the caravan, because, and you probably already know this, you don't need to get Nurofen, just ibuprofen is good enough. They're all exactly the same, just so happens that this company's advertised it for years, same thing pretty much. But with those drugs, yeah, keep them there, because if you get migraines, which I do occasionally, seriously you want to get hold of those tablets as soon as you can. Again, glove box or the little centre console, always the same place, and in the caravan. So that covers the drugs. Next one, I know I've talked about this on and on and on, but just recently, probably 3 times this week, I've needed this. So when I've gone parking, what is it? It's the Barocca tube. Now you can also get it in Boost. It's the same thing, just a different brand, different company, allowing for a different kind of tablets. But as I've said before, perfect for holding your $2 coins. Now if you wanted to, it would be a little bit messy, but depending how often you took your Baroccas, you could have $2 and $1 coins in there. But I prefer to have 2 of these because I'm always taking Barocca, and so I've always got empty capsules. $2 when full takes $38. That's handy too if you went into this supermarket or if you went into the service station and you forgot your wallet, and the guy, you saw a packet of crisps and some milk and all that, oh, the wallet's in the car, or I don't know where the wallet is, then you could just say to the guy behind the counter, how much? Oh, it's $12. 6 of these, there you go, done. Here's one now, I don't know whether it's ever happened to you, but certainly it's happened to me. When you go to have your tyres rotated, what they do is they may or may not rotate them, or they do just a real shoddy job. So what I do is, this is just normal chalk, you don't need the whole box, just get a packet of, just get a single chalk. Ask the kids to bring one home from school if they use chalk anymore. And what I do is on the inside of each tyre, I will put F1, F2, B1, B2, and I'll have marked them on the inside of the tyre. So when I get the car that's had its tyres rotated, I can just check that they've all been done. Because if F1 and F2 are still the same, or if any of them are still the same, it means they haven't done it. Bit of chalk. And this one here, you could use it for all sorts of things. Let's assume you're using it for all the right reasons. You can buy them in most of the car stores like Super Cheap or Repco. And what I do is, with the wheel nut I use all the time, I put some electrical tape around there, so I'm not always going up to the wheel and fiddling around trying to find out which one it is, because I always know it's got the electrical tape. Do it on there. What I do is, anytime I've had wheels rotated, bearings done, or any wheel work, then you go into one of these shops, quite often they'll put a rattle gun on it, and it can put it on so tight that it can stretch the steel, and that wheel might shear off, which, after all the people I've spoken to, they all seem to think when I lost the wheel on the caravan, that was what the cause was. So this is my tool of persuasion I'm talking about. Basically what I've done is I'll put this 4 brace, whatever it's called, onto the wheel nut, make certain it's on firmly, and if I struggle to, which I am struggling, then pop this on, keep it in firm, and lift. Here we go, see, it's unlocking, beautiful. Now I can do the rest by hand. I would definitely suggest do not use that tool of persuasion to tighten it up. So back on it goes, make sure again it's locked in properly, and do it nice and firm. That's it. And here's another 4 little tips. This is a strange one, but worth thinking about even when you're not travelling. I noticed a couple of times, you might not be this sort of person, but like if you buy a litre of milk or a couple of litres of milk, or you buy some ham, or you buy whatever, and then get it home and sort of, this smells off, well, I'll take it back. Now, it's been encouraged in a lot of the supermarkets that they won't give you a receipt. Or they'll say, do you want a receipt? And often you'll say, oh, no, don't worry about it. So in some ways you're saving the paper. But I discussed this with someone at Woolworths the other day. I said, so what happens if someone comes back and says, oh, this milk is off? Or milk they'll know maybe for theirs, but if something here is off and I want to change it or get a refund or whatever. And the lady said, yeah, that is a big problem. So without, as always, proof of purchase, and you want to take it back, realistically it's probably not going to happen. It'll be very frustrating for you and everybody else involved. That's receipts from the supermarket. And another one, now some people say, oh, let the spiders go. Well, depends which way you want to look at it. So fly spray on the roof of your car, where the roof rack is, or where you've got something sitting up there. Lots and lots of spiders and spider webs and all that sort of stuff seem to congregate. And they also do it on the, I've found on the mirrors. Now I'll let it go for a fair while, but there's sometimes, like on the back of the ute, I've got to put my hand in there where the spider webs are, and I really don't want to be poisoned by some really, really nasty spider. So to get rid of them, spray it generously where the cobwebs are, both on the roof rack and or the rear vision mirrors. Then wait maybe a couple of hours, then go back and get a hose or get some way of just cleaning out the whole area. You probably find the little spider will fall out, and then you just can let him go off the bush if he's not a fatal type killer spider. Bug spray. Now this is a, oh gee, they're heavy. This is just your jack. Now I started off with a small jack, thinking I don't want the weight, and you know, I'm not really lifting anything very heavy. I think this one's this is an 8 ton. I know it's overkill, but the 3 and the 5 ton or the 2 ton bottle jacks, they don't go up high enough. So don't forget, your caravan is already going to be high off the ground, and to put that in, if it doesn't even reach it before you actually start jacking it, then it's of no use. So I've got this, as I say, heavy one, 8 ton jack, and that's got me out of a whole lot of spots. Probably might be a good idea to put some hardwood or some proper base that you can sit it so it's already fairly close to the caravan like that before you start jacking it. So probably get a real big bottle jack. Yes, I know they are very heavy. The other thing is with the handles, what I use is just a headband, or you could use a really, really strong elastic band, or you could even put gaffer tape or electrical tape around it, because it's really annoying. You get 3 in the system, it's really annoying when you've lost one, especially if it's the one that hooks in, that turns the I don't know, the fluid thing on or off. So get yourself a decent jack. And last one, now I still think it's a great idea. These are wireless headphones. The reason I quite like these is the fact that if I'm parked close up to another caravan and I want to watch something on YouTube or want to listen to some wild music or anything, and I want to turn it up, then it's probably a bit unfair on everybody concerned, because the noise cancelling does make a big difference. And if anybody's got a great idea, I'd love to hear it. So obviously you can get your little ones, that iPhone's got those little ones that just stick out there, but this way here it just clamps over your head, all nice and tidy like so, and you're rocking on. Sorry if I'm talking a bit loud, because it does work quite well. Yeah, wireless headphones, good idea. Now I want to talk about a recovery kit, so I'm going to get out the way. So with the recovery kit, I'm sure you all know about it. Important to have one of these, and if you don't have one of those, you can always use a jumper or a heavy t-shirt to act as a dampener. But with the recovery kit, so fortunately or unfortunately, they are quite heavy and they are reasonably expensive to buy. But a good investment, you either have that or a winch if you're going to go around Australia. and asking people to get you out of a situation. If you've got a winch, most of the time you can get yourself out by yourself, or if you've got a recovery and use your recovery kit, then most people, or some people at some stage, might be able to help you out. So if you see that video when I was just about to, when I was driving through the sand and out on a beach and got stuck in the sand dunes, I made full use of the recovery kit, so that was fantastic. Now the reason I don't have a winch, and I was thinking about getting a winch, as I say, you can have one or t'other. The winch was a bit difficult to put on the front of the car, and again, it was a lot of weight, so I'm at all times trying to keep the weight down. So have the winch, don't worry too much about the recovery. Have the recovery, don't worry too much about the winch, unless you're going serious off-roading. Now the other one is this guy here. Now you've probably heard of a club lock. Back in the day they were pretty popular with cars, and cars that didn't have alarms and all that sort of stuff, and yeah, look, it was an alternative. But the club lock worked so it would lock onto the gear stick and prevent someone driving away. However, pretty smart cooks have worked out how to get that, and works out pretty easy these days. This one's quite different. So how it works is it connects to the steering wheel and to the foot brake. So there, that's really makes it really tricky for the guy to steer. Probably more important to be using them in towns, or if you know the town's got a pretty bad record, because think about it, you're out towing your caravan and the car, and you've got the car, you might leave the caravan somewhere, and then you think you go somewhere in the car going to town or whatever, and you really don't want someone to steal your car and go on a joyride or just steal it forever. So hopefully this little system will get you through that spot. I'll set it up on the car and you can check out how it works. Not a bad idea though. So this part goes up on the steering wheel, and I'm going to put the other part down first onto the behind the brake. Now I can't pull it up because I've got to unlock it. Unlock it first and then it will come out. See, it comes out all that way. Come out, then take your key out. Don't lose this key. You hook behind the brake, and now just pull one up, push the other one down, and that's it, locked. The only thing getting that off is the key. Pretty solid. Someone can't drive off, they can't use the brakes, it's all up. Fairly inconvenient, but don't worry, they can probably still steal it. But you certainly made it a lot more difficult. They see that on it, they'll say, too hard, don't worry about it. I didn't mention this. I've got to say, I've used this so many times. I'm pretty sure they call it a yoga mat. I don't know, it's probably $10 to $20, and it's had a really hard life. So if someone's going to give me a hand and I'm on the side of the road and they say, oh hang on, I should be able to fix that, I always lay this out for them so that they're lying on something that's reasonably comfortable. And it's also good too, if it's been raining, it'll protect them a bit as well. And obviously I'm using it a lot. Now, worst case, you can use it obviously for sleeping on. You're out in the middle of the bush and something happens and you've just got the car and the caravan's back there and you think, I've really got to sleep here. Or if you're down on the beach, it's pretty comfy to have this instead of just a towel or face cloth to lie on. So yeah, seriously, and it probably looks as though it's been used a lot, and seriously it has. It's just mint. Well, it's not mint, but it's a great little additive. Now here comes the last one. Kept the last one, this one deliberately is the last, because this is the one that might save you literally tens of thousands of dollars. I tell you, it would have, had I known about it, saved me blowing up the Prado up in the north of Western Australia, which I think cost $32,000. So this is a $32,000 saviour. So I want to tell you about that. Here it is, the moment you've been waiting for. The product is called F10. Now I make no money out of this, it's just I bought it. Now when I blew up the Prado, they said did you put any F10 in it before? And I said, I've never heard of it. And they said the other one that could have saved the engine would have been a thing called Fuel Doctor. Now, I've just done some research. Apparently Fuel Doctor is good for diesel, petrol, and they didn't mention anything beyond that, whereas this one here is good for diesel, petrol, E10, all sorts of goodies. So look it up yourself, and this is the one that I recommend. Now, when do you use it? Well, you definitely use it when you're out in the country and you think, oh, if you're a little bit not sure, think, oh, I don't know, it could be all right. If you think that a big fuel tank has just been into the fuel station and you're desperate to use the fuel there, I would normally drive on, but maybe you've got no choice, so you put this in. And I think this amount here, as you can see, is enough for a full tank. So if you're only just topping it up, half the tank or whatever, obviously I only put half of them out. Apparently you're supposed to get better fuel consumption. I wouldn't know whether that's true, but it'll certainly, allegedly, stop problems with algae, water in the tank, gunk, and all sorts of yucky stuff inside your fuel tank. So heavily recommended if you're out in the bush, or you're a little bit sus, or you might just say, you know, once I'm out of the main towns, I'm going to use it all the time. I know I've talked about this hammer lock system before, but definitely it was an absolute game changer for me for disconnecting and connecting the caravan. So I've got a little bit different to most other people. There's my tow ball, D35, and you can see how they're hanging down there, the actual hammer lock is hanging, so that the hook side is back on the caravan. Basically what I do when I'm hooking up the caravan, I take the hook, click it in, get the other hook, click it in, always cross over, and you've got a great little system, real quick. Well, there you have it. Another week wraps up. Now, if you found the video helpful, useful and or entertaining, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, if you do it one day, I'd appreciate it. And if you think the video is worth sharing, that too would be great. So until next time, this is Paul Wheel Drive, signing off.